Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Miss Crocheting Coffee here, and today we're going to be learning how to do a corner to corner stitch. Now, this is something that's super easy and I will show you exactly how I do it, but in this tutorial, you will need to know the basics of how to crochet. So you will need to know how to do a slip stitch, how to do a double crochet, and how to chain stitch. I'm also for this tutorial using a 5mm hook, which is letter H. I also have some Red Heart Super Saver yarn in the color Rogue. And then I have some shimmering white from Red Heart Super Saver, because we're not only going to learn how to do corner to corner, we're going to learn how to change colors as well. This won't be a super huge tutorial, so it'll be something nice and small so that you guys can get the gist of how to do this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch. So go ahead and make a slip stitch with your yarn. And if you don't know how to slip stitch or do the basics, I do have a video on that, which I will put up in the eye of this video so that you can go back and learn the basics, and then you can come back to this tutorial. Now, if at any time I go too fast or too slow, feel free to fast forward, rewind, and pick up where you need to. Everybody learns at their own pace, so it's okay if you do that, and this tutorial is here to help teach you, and so I don't want to go too fast. So if it goes too fast or you need to pause, stop, rewind, fast forward, please feel free to do so, okay? So we have our slip stitch, and the first thing we're going to do is chain 6, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Did you get your 6? All right. Now I'm going to bring you down so you can focus on what I'm doing here. Now, you see we have our 6 stitches, or our 6 chains, and you're going to count and skip the first 3. So 1, 2, and 3. On that 4th one is where you're going to put your first double crochet. So we're going to skip 3, and then our first double crochet is going to go right in that 4th chain. Okay, so go ahead and yarn over, count 1, 2, 3, and we're going right there. So we're going to insert, yarn over, pull through. So you should have 3 loops on your hook, and then complete your double crochet. So you go through 2 loops, and then you yarn over again and go through the last 2 loops. Okay, you're going to do that 2 more times now. So we're going to go into the next one. We're just going to do the same thing till we get to the end here. And there you have it. You have your first cluster, okay? Now, once you get to this point, if you need to stop, pause, rewind, fast forward, please feel free to do so. But we're going to be moving up to level 2. So, here we go. We're going to chain 6. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to do the exact same thing we just did. So we're going to yarn over, skip the first 3, 1, 2, 3, go into that 4th one there, yarn over, pull through, so you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, okay? You're going to do that 2 more times, so 1, and 2, so now you should have 2 clusters, just like this. And they'll be sitting side by side, and that's okay. So once you hit this point, again, if you need to pause, stop, rewind, fast forward, please feel free to do so, because we're just going to keep it pushing, okay? So once you get to this point, we're going to turn this first cluster, okay? So we're going to turn it because we're going to go inside of where that those skipped stitches were. So remember that first one we skipped stitches, and you have this big gap right there now. But don't worry, we're about to close that gap. So we're going to slip stitch in there. So what you're going to do, you're not going to yarn over or anything. You're going to take it straight from that cluster, and you're going to insert your hook into that chain 3 that was skipped, or the 3 chains that were skipped. Okay? Then you're going to yarn over, you're going to pull through, and then you're going to pull through the loop on your hook as well. Okay? Once you do that, you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to do 3, or three more double crochets. So we're going to go into that same hole. 1, 2, and 3. So now what you should have should look like this. Kind of looks like a little boot. And don't worry, that will go away. It's only because we're putting tension on it that it's making that big gap right there. Okay? So now once you've hit this point, you're going to chain 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Go ahead and chain your 6 and just do the same thing that we did before. So skip those first 3. 1, 2, 3. Go into that 4th one. Oh. So we're going to go into that 4th one. So 1, 2, 3. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2. And then pull through the last 2. And we're going to do that to the end. So we're going to do 2 more. 1. And 2. And there you have another cluster. But as you can see, it's going the wrong way. So we need to turn that. So we're going to turn our work. And we're going to slip stitch again. So we're going to slip stitch right into that chain 3 right there. And then we're going to slip stitch. So we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, bring that out so you have 2 loops. And then you're just going to pull that first loop through the second loop. Okay? And then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to do 3 double crochets in that space where the chains were skipped. So the big stitch right there, with the, you see the light coming through right there? We're going to go right in there and do 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Now we're going to go down to the next level here. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to find that skipped 3 chains 3. We're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull it through, and then pull it through the loop on our hook again. Then you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Sorry, my husband sneezed. So chain 3. And then we're going to do 3 more double crochets. So go ahead and do your 3 double crochets in that hole. So we have 1. Oh, I'm getting caught up here. 2. And 3. So now you should have something that looks like a little set of stairs. So 1, 2, 3. Okay? Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3. So you have 1 cluster, 2 clusters, 1, 2, 3 clusters. Okay? And that's essentially how you go with corner to corner. And you just keep repeating yourself. So we're going to do 1 more row together before we change colors. Okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to do that chain 6. Remember? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to skip those first 3 chains, go into that 4th one. And we're going to finish our double crochet in that chain. And then we're going to do 2 more double crochets in the next 2 stitches. So the next stitch gets a double crochet. And then that last stitch gets a double crochet. Your cluster should have 3 double crochets and either probably a chain 3 in it. So 1, 2, 3 double crochets, and then the chain 3 counts as a double crochet because that's your edge, okay? And of course, you remember, we're going to turn it. We're going to slip stitch into this chain 3 space here, okay? So slip stitch in there. We're just going to pull it through the loop. Chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then do 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And you're just going to do that the whole way down. So slip stitch, chain 3. Let's pull some yarn out here. We're going to chain 3, and then we're going to do our 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. And then last one, find that chain 3 space, slip stitch, do your chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then do 3 double crochets. But on that third one, we're going to do something different because we're going to change colors. So you ready? So we're going to do 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. Now before you finish that last 2 on your hook, we're going to change colors. So you want to make sure you leave those last 2 loops on your hook. And then grab your secondary color, which this is going to be the shimmering white. And you're going to make your slip stitch, or your slip knot, I'm sorry. And instead of finishing that double crochet with the same color, we're going to finish it with this color. So we're going to take this color, and then we're going to pull it through those last 2 loops on the hook, okay, to finish that double crochet. And you can pull that last one there, just like that. And then instead of using the red color, we're going to use the white to do our chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then that's how easy it is to change colors, okay? And then if we were done with this red color, what we would do is just trim that off. You can tie those tails together and you'll be hiding them in the stitches. So, but we're not done with that red yet because I'm going to change back to red whenever we do a row of the white. So we're going to do a row of the white. So we're just going to do the exact same thing. All that's changed is the color. So skip that first 3, go into that 4th one, yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, and we're going to do it 2 more times, 2 more double crochets. So we're going to go into the next stitch, we're going to yarn over and pull that through, yarn over, pull that through, yarn over, pull that through, okay? And then one more time. So when changing colors, when you're on the last step of the stitch that you're on, so if I was on this color and I wanted to switch back, instead of switching and going the white, I would just turn to the red color to finish it off and then just keep using the red. So it's going to give you a seamless color change, okay? So you won't be able to, you'll obviously be able to know where you change colors, but it won't be as noticeable that you actually change colors. So because we're staying with the white, we're going to go ahead and do this. And I'll show you how to change colors one more time in case that tripped you up a little bit. So we're going to turn our work and we're going to slip stitch into that chain 3 space. And again, slip stitching, all you do is insert your hook, grab that yarn and pull it through, and then pull it through the loop on your hook, okay? We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Find that chain 3 space, slip stitch again, chain your 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to keep doing that till we get to the end. We're going to do the same thing over and over again. The repetition is what helps you learn it. So this is a good thing for, especially if you want to learn this particular stitch. So we're going to 2 and 3. And then we're going to insert our hook in that chain 3 space. 1, 2 and 3. We're going to double crochet. 2. And like I said, remember, before you finish this last stitch, we're going to take this yarn and change the color back to what it was. So if you need a few, if you need a few moments to catch up to this spot, please feel free to pause the video here. But what we're going to do next is we're going to change back to the red color. So we changed to the white. Actually, you know what? We can go down and I'll meet that chain color down here. That way I don't have to cut it. So we're going to finish this off here. And we're going to turn our work just like this, okay? And we're going to go down, and then once we change back to this color, we're going to start decreasing. So we're going to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and 6. Skip those first 3 chains, 1, 2, and 3. Go into that 4th chain. Now make sure you're not doing your chains too tight or it'll be hard to chain through them or make your double crochet through them. We're going to do our double crochet. And one more time here. And then we're going to find that chain 3 space on the next cluster. And we're going to just do our clusters the whole way down. So we're going to slip stitch. We're going to slip stitch right here. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. We're now going to do our 3 double crochets in that chain 3 space. 2 and 3. We're then going to go into the next one and do the same thing. You're just going to do the same thing the whole way down. So just go the whole way down doing the same thing. And do keep in mind, we all learn at our own pace. So again, if you need to pause, stop, rewind, fast forward, please feel free to do so. This is here for you to learn, and it's not a race. And nobody's judging how quickly or how slowly you're getting onto this. As long as you learn the stitch, that's all that matters. So we did our chain 3, and now we're going to do our 3 double crochets. And again, if you find yourself getting frustrated because you're not catching on right away, that's okay. Just put it down, pause the video, go take a break, get a drink, do what you have to do, and then come back to this at a later time. Because if you do this while you're frustrated, your tension will be off, and then you'll have some tight clusters and some loose clusters, and we don't want that. So just take a deep breath, step away, and come back whenever you're ready to complete this. So we're almost up to our last cluster here. We're going to do 3 double crochets in here. And then we're up to this last one, so find that chain 3 space, slip stitch, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to do 2 double crochets, 1, 2. Now we're going to get onto that 3rd one. We're going to start it, but we're not going to finish it. We're going to get it to it has 2 loops on your hook, okay? And then we're going to grab that red, I'm going to grab the red, and we're going to finish off that stitch, okay? Let's get that tail out of the way. We're going to finish off that stitch. And we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now this is where we decrease. But first, I'm going to cut off this white strand of yarn. So we're going to trim off that white. I'd say leave a little bit of a tail so you can weave it in. And now we have our red back on the hook again, okay? So to decrease, like I said, I chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I didn't go up to 6. We're only going to chain 3. Why? Because I'm going to slip stitch into that very first one, okay? And this is how you decrease. So when you get to the end of your pattern, this is how you close the gap. So because it's called corner to corner, you're literally doing it corner to corner. So you do it to a V shape, and then it comes back into a V shape. And I'll show you how. So once you start that next row and you're ready to decrease, you're going to chain 3. And then you're going to find that chain 3 space of the first cluster you're closest to. You're going to slip stitch inside of there. Okay? And then you're going to do your chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And you're just going to keep going. See? That's not hard, right? So we're just going to keep going. We're going to do our 3 double crochets. Everything else stays the same. We're just not increasing anymore. We're not making more rows. So we're going to slip stitch, chain 3, 2, 3. We're going to go inside of there. 2, 3. And we're going to go the whole way down. Three more double crochets in that cluster. And we're going to keep going until we get to the very end. I'm going to bring you over a little bit because I'm noticing my hands are drifting. 1, 2, 3. 3 double crochets, and you're just going to work your way right back down to the other end. 2. 3. We're going to insert, slip stitch, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to insert into this last one. We're still going to do our chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Except for this time, we're going to turn it and go right back into the same one we just finished. So you see what I did there? So that we're not adding any more rows onto this. We're just going to keep going just like this. We're going to slip stitch. So that brings it to a top right there, okay? Because we don't want to add any more up here. We're decreasing now. So we put the one here. Here, let me show you. So we're going to, once you get to that first one at the top, you're just going to do your chain 3 because it helps for you to finish it off and it flattens out that top part, okay? So once you do, and you can count your stitches and know if it's decreasing or if it's increasing, because at the last stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is exactly what you want because you want it to decrease, which is what we're doing. So once you do that last cluster there, instead of increasing at this top one, you're just going to slip stitch. You're still going to chain that 3. 1, 2, and 3. Turn it around. Go back into that same cluster in the chain 3 space right there. Slip stitch. And then you're going to keep going. So you're just going to do your chain 3 here. And we're going to do 3 double crochets into that same space. 1, 2, and 3. Just keep going till you get to the end. 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch into the next chain 3 space. 1. It's going to count, your chain 3 is going to count as 1, 2. This is going to be your first, technically your first double crochet, but your second stitch. Because all together, it'll look like you have 4 double crochets going. 2, 3. So we have our 3 double crochets, and then that chain 3 counts as a double crochet as well. So it looks like a 4th one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to go here. One more time. 1, 2, 3. 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. So we have our 3 double crochets, and we're going to slip stitch into this top one here. And again, we're only going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to turn our work, and we're going to go right back into that chain 3 spot. And you just keep doing this until you've gotten to the end. Okay? So if you've gotten to this far, congratulations, you're doing great. If you haven't, that's okay. Just feel free to pause the video until you get to this spot. 2 and 3. I'm going to pull some more yarn out here. And then we're going to slip stitch again. Slip stitch right there. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. We're going to slip stitch again. 1. Put your chain. Then we're going to do 1 double crochet. 2 double crochets. And then 3 double crochets. And here we are at the top again, so we're going to slip stitch into that top one. We're only going to chain 3 because we're decreasing. 1, 2, 3. We're going to turn it and then slip stitch right down into that last one we just completed. And then we're going to do our chain 3. One. So there's your first double crochet. There's your second double crochet. And there's your third double crochet. So it's going to be 3 double crochets and a chain 3 to make up your cluster. Keep that in mind. Every once in a while you'll skip a cluster, like you'll skip a double crochet and you'll have like 2 instead of 3. That's okay. Just make sure you correct it on the rest of them so that they come out looking even. Make mistakes happen. You can either frog it out, which is just pulling your work out and redoing it, or you can try to just fix it on the next one. So here we go. So we got 3 here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then we're going to find that chain 3 spot right there and slip stitch. We're going to turn our work, chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to go right here. We're going to slip stitch and then chain our 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do our 3 double crochets, and this should be your last cluster, okay? So you've got all the way to this point. You can do it. And 3. We're going to finish off that one, and then we're just going to slip stitch it right into there. And then this is where you would essentially cut off your tail. Okay. And then you're going to essentially just take that little tail, pull it through, and you can trim that off later. And there you have it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you should have, you start it from here, okay, where this little tail is. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. So essentially you worked from this corner to that corner, and that's how you get your little corner to corner stitch going. So there you have it. That's how you do corner to corner. Was that easy enough for you? If it was, kudos. If it wasn't, that's okay. Just take a minute to rewind the video and watch it through and make sure you're watching exactly what I'm doing so that you can get this stitch pattern down. It's a really cool stitch pattern. I will warn you, it is a little bit of a yarn hog. So if you're looking to make like a blanket or something, you're going to want to make sure you have at least 1 or 2 skeins extra because it does eat up a lot of yarn. But it is a really cool pattern to do whenever you're making blankets and such. So there you have it, folks. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any more questions, comments, or concerns about how I did this, please leave those down in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I possibly can. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel also and would like to see more random crazy videos just like this, please feel free to hit that subscribe button and the bell to be notified anytime I randomly decide to put up a video. And believe me, it's random. But with that said, I must now bid you adieu. But not before reminding you that it's hard out here in these crafty streets. Please stay safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, don't touch your face, keep your 6 feet, and always try. Be kind, be courteous, be cool. Bye guys.